Well, good evening, internets, on a New Year's Eve that is quickly becoming New Year's Day. I'm DP Knudten, and guess what? This is my final Bookward Bound, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And what am I trying to get done? The creation of this bad boy, a brand new book called NONFICTION BRAND. Discover, craft, and communicate the completely true, completely you nonfiction brand you already are. Or I should say, completely true, completely you brand you already are, because that is the title. And I've been going through this book with a fine-tooth comb over the past several days, and now is the night where this thing goes live. And I'm going to be doing a final pass-through in Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing platforms. What do they call it? A print previewer, which allows you to see everything that it has in terms of my press-ready PDF files for the guts of the book and the cover of the book. And without further ado, let's go take a look at that thing, because it's actually a helpful tool. And it looks a little something like this. Hold on. Adjust that in. Sorry about that. And here's what it looks like. Come on, why aren't you working with me here? Oh, I know why. I'm gonna quit out of there. Bingo. There we are. This is Kindle Direct Publishing's print previewer, as you can see right up here. And what it allows you to do is look at the cover and the guts of the book, page by page or spread by spread. And so right now what it's showing me is the cover. And I'm just quickly looking at things, and you can see it's got white dots, or a white dotted line for the trim margin, and then red is what they consider safe. Anything within the red is likely to be printed without a problem. And I'm looking for stuff that might look a little weird, like where it cuts off my ear over here. And frankly, that's okay, because I like the way it kind of stages toward the right margin of the book. You can see exactly how it looks right there, and it'll look just like that, I think. So cool. I'm cool with that. I added blurbs here. I think that works out okay. I added a blurb up here, and that looks okay. And then it's giving me, please check this, please check that. So yeah, prevent from cutting off in manufacturing. It's inside the guides. Yes, everything's inside the guides. Yeah, literally think it's okay. And again, if I need to, I can upload a new cover, but I'm just going to go to the first spread. This will be inside the book, so the first right reading page is this, and that is correct. The copyright page with a blank opposite is fine. A spread of actual quotes or blurbs from people that I've gotten so far, which is good. Hold on, let me go back to that. Make sure I don't have two people copied in here. Bea, Darren, Christian, Kate, Melanie, Paul, Malash, and Roger. Good. The right read page of my dedication page. That should probably be it, but I'm going to leave it, because I don't want to mess with this if I don't have to mess. That could probably be up a line. But we're going to leave it, because I could mess with this all day long, forever and ever, but there comes a point where it just has to be done. Forward page, that looks good. Introduction is a right read page, that looks good. Bing, bing. And then we're into the first page here. It's correct. 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 And again, I'm just doing a overview because I've been through this thing correcting the grammar and spelling and editing. And this is really about just making sure that the pages aren't totally screwed up. Everything's looking good. Ooh, actually, later in the book. I think I refer to it as being later in the book. Dang. That's a mistake. All right, I gotta do this quickly. Open up the final. So this was page 33. Later in the book, yeah, read about him. In the book. It was about imposter syndrome. This is page 31 where I'm talking about imposter syndrome. Quite a bit. I think we're okay. All right, so we're gonna not worry about it. Look at the next page. Just making sure nothing looks weird on the pages. Because here's the thing, I know there are mistakes in here. But this thing, I could worry about this all day long and it would never get published. And I'm at the point now where I just need to get this beast published. Because I can always make changes, I can always upload new changes. But mostly, I just need to get the book done because that is part of the deal. And I want to post this right after 12 midnight Central Time to fulfill my goal of posting this or publishing it on January 1st of 2020. Everything's looking good. 37. Yep. That'll be on the left or right hand read. That is correct. Be the red gummy bear. Yeah, I would move that down a page. Things are looking good. Literally scanning these pages just to make sure. There's not anything that screams fix me. And this is one of the hardest things when you're self-publishing a book and you're doing everything yourself. Literally, the cover design, everything I'm doing myself. Now, if I had a lot of extra money sitting around, I'd send this out to an editor and a proofreader, or a proofreader / editor. But I've got daughters in college instead of that. So that means I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And frankly, that's one of the key ideas of personal branding, which is if you're waiting for perfection, you're just leaving opportunity on the table. So I've done everything I can to make this as good as I can make it and as error-free as I can make it. But here's the thing I know. There are errors built into this book. And the only way I'm going to find out what those errors are is by getting it out there and publishing it, and then have people, I hate to say it, email me back saying, hey, did you notice page 33 is all messed up, or something like that. And that's when I'll know what changes I desperately need to make. And frankly, I'm going to buy a couple of these books right away, and I'm going to go through one of them and look for the things that need fixing, because what I'm looking at on screen doesn't matter, because the book, what's printed in the book, is what really matters. And if it doesn't work in the book, that's what needs to be fixed. And the only way I can find out what needs to be fixed is by getting another print copy, because I've already gone through this print copy like crazy. Every page, I think every page has corrections on it. Now I need to get a second proof. And, you know, if I had more time, maybe I would have gotten a second hard proof before I published. But, you know, this is not a perfect world. This is a do as perfect as you can, given your personal limitations. And frankly, when it comes to limitations, I've got a few. However, I'm getting this dang thing done, regardless. Let's see. Oh man, there's so many things that I could possibly go in and change. But I'm not going to. I'm resisting the urge, because I would never get this done. You know, they say politics is the art of the possible. Publishing is the art of the imperfect. And the main thing is I'm getting this done. I'm keeping an eye out because it's almost midnight, and I need to be through all these pages so that I can, in fact, approve this print. And even then, Amazon or Kindle Direct Publishing is going to take some time to give it a full thumbs up and, you know, all that stuff. Which is why I wanted to do this right after midnight, to make sure that this was going to be live the first day of 2021. What a quest this has been, let me tell you. It's not been easy, but it's going to be done. And that's the most important thing. Yeah, boy, even now I see stuff that I would fix. And I'm not even looking at the sentences or the words. I'm looking at the basic formation and design of the page, going, God, move that down one more line or something like that. Oh, we got 5 minutes left to go. I'm almost through the book. Everything's looking pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. Stanley. Alex and Toad. Hello, Alex and Toad. Andy Crestadina is the last one, I think, right about the book. Yeah. Here are the final pages. About the author. Collaborator Creative. So guess what? See that button right there that says approve? I'm approving it. And publication date. Next step pricing. I've already talking about. Okay, so $3.95 is my printing cost. Quest proofs. Publish it. I should have waited till write it. It can take up to 72 hours to be available for purchase. Close. In review. Last reviewed on January 1st, 2021. So it may be a little bit before midnight here in Central Time, but evidently this is looking at this from Eastern Time because it looks like I've last modified it and it's in review on January 1st of 2021, which means this book is published. Amazing. When I started out this entire journey on Friday, March 6th, I can't talk. Friday, March 6th of 2021, or of 2020, I had just come back from social media marketing world in San Diego, where I was inspired by a couple of different people that I write about in the book to actually write this book. And I decided to do 301 nightly live streams, writing the book in real time in front of you. And I did it, with the exception of 2 nights where I was sick as a dog with Lyme disease, of all things. I came down here every single night and put in at least 15 minutes working on the book. I mean, seriously, maybe one night, 10 minutes, I don't know. Because some nights I just didn't have anything in me. I had no gas in the tank. Other nights I went on for an hour or a little beyond, stuff like that. But the bottom line is I wouldn't have done it at all if it weren't for you, my non-existent audience, because I made this big pronouncement or announcement and pronouncement to you that I was going to do this thing. And the sheer terror of not fulfilling the promise in front of you made me come down here every single night to work on it. And guess what? It worked. I did the math at the very beginning, determining how many pages I wanted my book to be, which was around 250 pages. And doing a little bit of research and figuring out how many lines and words would fit on a page. It came out to about a total of 80,000 words. Well, guess what? The book that I just wrote and just published is 258 pages and 78,358 words. Or no, 78,346 words. So I was really, really close to my initial estimates and my initial plan, because I was realistic about what my plans were going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be this 500-page book. I knew I wasn't going to be writing 1,000 words a night. I knew that on average, if I could get about 250 words written every day. Some days more, some days less, but average 250 words, I was going to be able to get to my goal of an around an 80,000 word book. And as you can see in the proof copy, this bad boy looks pretty darn good. And, you know, it's got great heft. It feels like a real book because it is a real book. It was designed to be a real book. It has things like collaborator publications and insignia and sigils, or whatever you want to call it, signets. It's got blurbs, just like a real book. I mean, it's a real book because I designed it to be that way. And it wasn't easy, but it was done. You know, I used to say you got to see it to be it. Now, I think I want to modify that to you got to strategize to realize. Because if you don't have a strategy for getting this stuff done, forget it. You're just wasting time. You're blowing smoke, and you're not going to get it done. I cannot tell you how glad I am that 2020 is over, and that this book quest is over, and that 2021 will have started out with me publishing a brand new book. Yeah, let's face it. I mean, writing a book and publishing a book is a level up that not many people get to do on the face of this earth. You know, it's going to help me out tremendously when it comes to things like marketing my services, marketing myself, marketing my speaking, marketing my presentations. Being able to do this for 301 days has made me a live streaming, I don't want to say champion because I may not be that good at it, but it's burned the fear out of me. I know how to do it now. I know what it requires, not only in terms of technical things like cameras and microphones and, you know, Restream and .io, which is how I'm multiplexing this out to Amazon, to Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. All these things a year ago I didn't know. Let's see, 10 months ago I didn't know. 9 months ago I didn't know anything about. But now I don't know if mastering it is too much of a brag, but I feel like I've mastered this to a certain level. Now it's all about refinement. And I guess that's probably a big thing too, which is that just because you've done it does not mean you've mastered it. So now, in spite of the fact that this is after midnight now, Central Time here in the United States of America, and I'm pretty darn tired, I'm still going on live streaming because it was my promise to you that I was going to get this stuff done. And I can proudly say I have. Thank you. Because even if you're not there, my non-existent audience out there in live stream land, I always had to assume that you were. And because I did, that put a fire under my butt that got me down here to work on the book and actually get it done. So what's going to happen now is that Kindle Direct Publishing is going to take a look at my files, and, you know, they do this all computerized and all that stuff. So it's not like there's somebody there going, No, they're just making sure it can print. And once that it's been looked at closely by whatever algorithmic program they have, they'll green light it for publication, and the book will go live on Amazon.com. And then eventually it'll show up on Amazon.de, which is Deutschland, or other Japan, I think, JP, etc. I think I'm going to be in a bunch of different markets. So if you're watching this internationally, go ahead and check your local Amazon website to see if Nonfiction Brand by D.P. Knudten shows up as a book that you can purchase. Because here in the United States, it's got a list price of $20.95. And of course, that'll be translated into other currency throughout the world. But it's an indication that I put in a buttload of work on this book. I literally poured in 20 years of experience. I poured it all into this book, and I think it's worth $20.95. So if you're interested in finding out more about nonfiction branding in particular and personal branding or small business branding in general, check out the book, because I think it's worth it. And I think you'll find some actionable information in there that can help you take your efforts to the next level. Do I have anything more to say? Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Because if it weren't for you, I would not be here, and this book would not be now published. That's it for me tonight. Whoa, wrong camera. There we go. Yeah, I've mastered live streaming. Hardly. But I do want to say thank you again for helping me get this stuff done, being part of my peer pressure posse, which kept me honest and kept me working on this book, because it's been quite the labor of blood, sweat, and tears to get this done. And now I can rest. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much. And believe me, this is not the last you'll see of me. I'm definitely hooked on this live streaming thing. I'm going to take a little bit of break as I figure out what to do next. But I'm sure that if you follow me on any of my channels, social media, and I'm most active on LinkedIn, I hate to say Facebook, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you're hanging around those areas, you'll probably see me posting up new live streams about who knows what. But 2021 is going to bring us all some really great opportunities, and it's a chance to turn a new leaf and start brand new things, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I encourage you to do the same. I'm D.P. Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every single Monday, which means, since today's Friday, tomorrow I get to edit the podcast that will be premiering on Monday, which is a second half conversation with Ollie Bridge of Bonjoro.com. And we'll be talking more about Bonjoro, which is this really cool service that allows you to send personalized videos to your most important people in your life via email. And we'll be talking more about that and personal branding in general, and Ollie Bridge's personal brand in particular. So if you're at all interested, check out the Nonfiction Brand podcast wherever you find podcasts for free. Look for this image, my photo in black and white, and the words Nonfiction Brand stacked exactly as you see it, because that is the cover art or the album art for the podcast. If you see that, you'll know you got the right podcast. And if you do see it, please give it a listen and a thumbs up like if you like it. Subscribe to it. Refer it to other people. But most of all, could you do me a solid and write a review for the podcast wherever you find podcasts for free? Because that would really, really help me and help other people find the podcast. I guess that's it. This marks the end of a 301-day journey to publication. And I might add, successful publication because of you. Thank you so much for the help. And until next time, theme music, take us on out. Oop. Yeah, I've mastered live streaming, as you can see. Oh my God, I pressed the wrong button. Theme music, take us on out. There we go. See you next time. Bye-bye.